The Tennessee Titans travel to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers on Sunday. BETDAQ currently has Green Bay installed as a 13-point favorite in this game. 46 is the total. Now the Packers are 10-4. They've locked up the NFC North after trailing Chicago in that division for most of the season. Of course, the Bears have collapsed over the last month, but the Packers are 10-4. They've won 8 out of their last 9, and they're 5-1 against the spread in their last 6. Why am I not more sold on this Green Bay team? I guess because I've seen them play. I guess because I've been watching this team play, and I'm used to what they look like the last couple of years, and they're just clearly not as good as they have been. Now, are they good enough? You know, I've been saying for the last several days, it seems like, that I don't think Green Bay is a legitimate Super Bowl threat, because even though they have a nice-looking record, after seeing them play the last couple of games, they don't look like a Super Bowl winning type of team. They're very average on offense this year. 17th in the NFL in total yards per game. Really, the defense has outperformed the offense in every major statistical category, including total yards allowed, points allowed, and things of that nature. So it sounds funny to think of the Green Bay Packers as a team that's dominated by their defense, and some of it's due to the injuries on offense. I know they've been banged up, especially at the wide receiver position. Greg Jennings is back now, but Jordy Nelson's been battling injury, and Donald Driver. Packers do not have a very good offensive line. At least they haven't played very well this year, haven't been able to protect Aaron Rodgers very well. And so, you know, I'm not as sold on Green Bay as other people. I still hear people talking about the Packers like they're this elite team and elite offense, when that's just not the case. I mean, folks, this is week 16, and their offense has slowly been getting worse throughout the year, not better. Their last 5 games are only averaging 21 points per game, and 3 out of those 5 games, they faced defenses that weren't in the top 20 in total defense or scoring defense. So they haven't been facing great defenses, and they're not putting up a whole lot of points. And it's just unusual, because this was an offense that last year led the NFL in scoring, 35 points per game. So you see such a steep drop-off, and it's hard for me to really get behind this team and get excited about this team. And I've said for the last few days, I do think over the next few weeks, I don't know when it'll be, it might be early in the playoffs, I do believe there's going to come a time where there's going to be excellent value, there's going to be an opportunity betting against the Green Bay Packers, because I believe the public perception of this team is just a little bit higher than it should be right now. Having said all of that, the Tennessee Titans coming in here, you know, Tennessee on the road this year has not been very good. Tennessee's 5-9. They've lost 5 games by 21 points or more. They're 30th in the NFL in points allowed. They allow 28.3 points per game. So if there's ever a team who Green Bay should be laying 13 points against, it is a team like the Tennessee Titans that has been repeatedly blown out by good teams this year. As we said, 30th in the NFL in points allowed. And by the way, they were dead last in the NFL in points allowed before they played the disgraceful New York Jets offense last week, which really helped them pad that stat. And even though the Titans won that game, hard to have much confidence in them coming out of that game. I mean, what sort of flew under the radar, because Mark Sanchez was so bad in that game, and all the talk coming out of the game was about how bad Sanchez was and about the Jets quarterback mess. Of course, they've now turned to Greg McElroy as their starter. But sort of lost in that, flying under the radar, fortunately for him, was Jake Locker's performance. Jake Locker was nearly as bad as Sanchez for most of that game. And to be fair, the announcers recognized it. They commented on it a couple of times about how lost Locker looked during that game. And he's looked better than that at times this season. But I've said throughout the year, he's just not as good at this point of his career as Matt Hasselbeck, the guy's backing him up. And 2 of Tennessee's 5 wins this year have come in the games Hasselbeck has started. Hasselbeck 2-3 as a starter this year. Not that that's great, but it's better than they've done with Locker. And even though Locker provides them with some things in terms of athleticism that Hasselbeck doesn't, and I do understand that they're trying to groom Locker to be the future of the franchise, and Hasselbeck, a veteran in his late 30s, I mean, he's on his last legs now. This Sunday in Green Bay, I don't think they're playing the quarterback that gives them the best chance to win. When you combine that with a terrible defense, even though the Green Bay Packers haven't been looking good enough on offense the last couple of months to really warrant being 13-point favorites over anybody, I do lean towards Green Bay in this game. Now, there's been a big line move of this game out in Vegas. Line opened at Green Bay -10. It has swelled all the way to 13.5 out there. As we said, it is 13 on BETDAQ. And 13 is such a big number. For that reason, this is not one of my favorite games on the board, but I have trouble getting behind Tennessee. I was very unimpressed with them last week against the New York Jets. They've been blown out repeatedly this year. And even though I'm not as sold on the Packers as a lot of people, and over the next couple of weeks, you might not hear me picking Green Bay because, like I said, I'm going to wait for my spot. There will be a good opportunity over the next few weeks to bet against the Packers and make some money, I believe. But hey, you can't overlook the fact they've won 8 out of the last 9 games, 5-1 against the spread in their last 6, playing a bad team at home. I do lean towards the Green Bay Packers this week, -13.